Now let me first begin by saying that you may like this video or you may completely dislike this video because I'm going to be very straightforward with you. 80% or even 70% of the students who are in this category abhi will not be clearing prelims this time. Of course, it will be very hard for you to significantly improve your content in the last 14 days. Now that's a hard fact. Close to 1 year you have been preparing. If you're stuck in like 40-50 range, don't think that in the 14 days you will be able to study everything and significantly improve your marks by close to 40 or 50. That is not going to happen. Hi everyone, Sreejay Sir here and welcome to yet another session of Civilsdaily IAS. In this video, I'm going to be spitting some hard facts on your preparation, especially to those students who are stuck in the range of 50 to 70 marks whenever you are attempting your open test or your full test. Now, let me first begin by saying that you may like this video or you may completely dislike this video because I'm going to be very straightforward with you. 80% or even 70% of the students who are in this category abhi will not be clearing prelims this time. I can say this because this is my close to 5th year of mentorship and this is the reality. There are a significant number of students who are scoring 80, 90, 100, 120 and don't think that in the next 14 days you will be able to complete the whole content, that you will be able to beat them. Now that is not going to happen. But let me tell you, there is a chance. There is definitely a hope. Now, if you follow what I'm going to say here, there is definitely a high chance, or at least I would say close to 30 to 40% of chance that you can give a good try and possibly you will be able to clear this prelims. Now, why does this happen? Why are you stuck between 50 to 70 is the first question here. Now, what does it happen? The first and foremost thing is the content. You may lack revision. You may not have finished all the portions, maybe polytype. In the 15 questions, you might be able to get only like 5 correct, 6 correct. So content is a major issue here. That's all of you know. The second one is the elimination. Now you might be very poor in elimination. You might not be applying the 1% logic, or you might not be thinking with respect to alignment terms. You might always be overthinking. So elimination is the key. And finally, the not so important, but it plays a major role is the way you solve the paper. Let's say how many questions are you attempting? Are you attempting only like 70 questions? Then you need to increase your attempt to close to 95 or 90. In how many rounds are you doing? Are you making very much silly mistakes? Are you underlining and circling on how you have to do? Question paper solving also plays a major approach. Maybe 3 to 4 questions due to silly mistakes. If you have got it right, then you will get close to like 10 marks more. So these are the 3 things which might be the reason that you're scoring very less. Now let's dive very deeper into each of the same on how or what you can do in the next 14 days for you to qualify the upcoming prelims. Now, first one regarding the content. Now, content can be divided into 3. The first one is that you won't be reading the whole Lakshmigang. You won't be reading the whole of history, medieval or art and culture. Rather, what we always say, you should be mostly focusing on the micro themes only, right? Now, let's say for example, when you go and read ancient history, what do you need to read? You should be reading the sites. And among the sites, you should be mostly focusing on the Ashokan sites, right? So it should not be like you spend your whole day reading Sangam literature, reading Indus Valley civilization, or reading the Pallavas, Parthians, and all the other different dynasties, which hardly matters in UPSC. Rather, you should be focusing more on Mauryan administration, Gupta administration, Delhi, Chola, Vijayanagara, and Mughal administration, wherein they are UPSC favorites. So what is the golden rule in the last 14 days or the last 15 days? Focus mostly on the micro themes, or wherein UPSC tend to ask more number of questions, right? So as you can see here, with respect to ancient history, literature pay close to 12 questions have come. Buddhist philosophy, close to 10 questions. Architecture and temple, 8 questions. Medieval administration, 9. Architecture, especially Ellora and Ajanta case, close to 8 questions have come. So have a list of micro themes in front of you, and what do you need to do? Make sure that at least the top 10 to 15 micro themes of every subject you revise. Now, when you revise the same, you should not go from page to page. Let's say when you're reading Lakshmigang, you should not be going from making of the constitution to union territory to constitutionalism to preamble. ऐसा नहीं जाना है, फिर कैसे जाना है? You should go from top to bottom. Now, what does that mean? It means that पहले parliament पढ़ो. उसके बाद fundamental rights and duties, उसके बाद judiciary. So on the basis of the number of PYQs asked in those respective topics, you need to go from top to bottom. So what is the first thing? कंटेंट फोकस करना है, कंटेंट पे कैसे करना है, focus mostly on the micro themes or where UPSC tend have asked more number of questions, right? Also, one more thing that you can focus is among the micro themes, which have been the topics in which UPSC have asked more number of questions. Now that is what we call it the non-negotiable previous year topics or the NYQ. Now as you can see here, with respect to modern history, we have divided the same into two segments. The one is 2008 to 2015 and the other is 2016 to 2025. Now as you can see here, with respect to social reform, in the year 2016 to 2025, close to 7 questions have come. But in the previous segment, from 2008 to 2016, only 1 questions have come. So focus more on those topics in which lately, close to in the last 5 years or the 10 years, UPSC have asked more number of questions. As you can see here, advent of Europeans, it has increased close to 2 questions when you compare the 2 different segments. Or let's say, for example, with respect to polity. Now, fundamental rights and duties, from 2008 to 2015, only 5 questions were there. But from 2016 to 25, close to 15 questions were there. So the fundamental rights and duties is a bit on the hotter side. So therefore, you need to focus more on these areas. Nature of the bills, especially what is a money bill, what is the powers of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha with respect to different bills, what happens to a bill when it is in the Lok Sabha, when it is passed to the Rajya Sabha, and also all these different areas, you know. So these are the hot topics in polity right now. Presiding officers, deputy speaker, speaker, हर साल पे एक question you can see here. So make sure that when you revise the micro themes, make sure at least the top 10 topics, उस पे किस topic पे ज़्यादा focus करना है? Mostly focus on the blown up topics, or else which are the hotter topics right now, which has been repeated more in the last 10 years. So content कैसे करना है? Micro themes पे ध्यान दे दो, और इन micro themes पे ज़्यादा ध्यान दे दो, उस पे last 10 साल पे more number of questions have come. Clear everyone? Now the second thing is, as you can see here, critical minerals, rare earth and other minerals. So minerals पे ज़्यादा ध्यान दे दो. 2 questions अभी when you compare the 2 different segments, इसमें ज़्यादा बड़ा है. World geography, minerals, oil, natural resources, वो ज़्यादा अभी, you know, more number of questions are coming from the same. You can focus more on that. World geography, all these are very significant. Focus more on those areas in which the last 10 साल पे ज़्यादा questions have come. ठीक है. The second content that you have to focus is the PYQs. Now UPSC has this habit of repeating the PYQs, right? Let me show you some examples to prove the same. Now as you can see here, this is a question from 2025. This was a question with respect to the isotherms. Now when you compare the same 2024 question, the same question has repeated, or the same statement has repeated with respect to the isotherms in 2024. In 2025, UPSC have asked about, 2024 UPSC have asked about papaya, how many of the above trees are native to India? Right. And the same papaya you can see here, in how many of the above were they introduced by the Portuguese in India. So UPSC expects us to dive very deeper and understand whether papaya was introduced either by the Dutch, British or the Danish, but it was introduced, or the French, but it was introduced by the Portuguese, right? So 2025 पे ज़्यादा deeper पे गया है UPSC. Aragata was asked in 2016. The same Aragata was asked in 2025. 2019 पे state governments have the power to grant mining license of minor interests, but the power regarding the formation of rules of the grant minor interests lie with the central government. The same exact statement you can see here. The state governments have no power in making the rules of concession with respect to extraction of mineral resources, even though minerals are located in such areas. So here, the state governments have the power. So here, state governments have the power to frame the rules for illegal mining of minor minerals. So almost the same thing UPSC have repeated in 2019 and 2025. Here, self-respect movement in 2019. UPSC have asked the same self-respect movement in 2025. Also, it was the 10th year anniversary of the same as well. Petroleum Natural Regulatory Board asked in 2019. The same has been asked in 2025, Petroleum and Natural Regulatory Board. So what do you need to do? Close to like Mattavilasa was asked, Mattavilasa Vichitrashita was asked in 1993. The same got repeated in 2025. But always remember that it's not possible for you to learn the content of close to 30 years or 35 years. Take it completely off the situation. It's not possible for you to read the same. But what can you do? At least 10 years of content is something that you should prioritize and focus on. So what do you need to do? You need to do the 2016 question paper, and then you need to learn the content of the questions as well. What are the different options? Learn a bit about the options. What are the different statements? Dive deeper into the statements, as UPSC have this habit of repeating the questions or repeating the topics that has been asked in the previous years, as I have just showed you. Right. So what do you need to do? 10 years of PYQ and their content. So these are the questions and these are the content. These are the questions and these are the content. Now the important question that you must be having is, how can you study the content? Now let me tell you, we are not releasing this document in public, but there are different academies out there which has released the same. Or make sure that when you actually learn about the content, spend at least 5 minutes in order to read about the same. You can Google the same, you can use AI tools. Just Google the same for 5 minutes and try to learn the content of the same. If you don't have any other document out there with you, or else go for any other academy's document. Okay. So direct air capture, which was asked in 2025, learn a bit about the direct air capture, learn a bit about the different industries. So whatever the question is, with respect to responding content, you have to study for the same. Okay. Now, with respect to content, 3 things. The current affairs you have to study, then the micro themes, and then the PYQ content. Now, if you master the same in the last 14 days, let me tell you, you will get close to 80 or let's say 85 marks in the upcoming prelims, or let's say 75 to 80 marks. Now, what is the other thing that you need to focus upon? Of course, it will be very hard for you to significantly improve your content in the last 14 days. Now, that's a hard fact. Close to 1 year you have been preparing. If you're stuck in like 40-50 range, don't think that in the 14 days you will be able to study everything and significantly improve your marks by close to 40 or 50. That is not going to happen. So one thing you will have to mandatorily focus upon is to improve the elimination. This is the only way, let me tell you. I have seen it as mentees in my life, close to like 5 years of my mentorship, and I have seen students who are scoring like 60, 70, clear the prelims, because prelims is all about understanding the words, understanding the vocabulary, understanding, having a very layman knowledge, having a foundation, having a good foundation, and building up on the foundation and applying your elimination techniques. Now, this is the only way, let me tell you. If you have to clear, those who are stuck in 50 to 70, if you have to clear, you'll have to master the logical and elimination techniques. Right. Now, how can I master the same? I'm not creating a FOMO here, or I'm not trying to sell my course here, but let me tell you, this is the only solution. Okay. You will have to, either you can go for any other courses out there, but you will have to master the logical and elimination. Okay. And in my opinion, this is the best course out there in the elimination techniques throughout in India today. Right. So here, the logical elimination, there is no live classes for you. It will be a pura recorded classes, close to 50 hours of elimination lectures. And the whole 50 hours you don't have to watch, because it's divided into 10 hours of foundation lectures. I'll teach you how you have to think with respect to general questions, specific questions, word deconstruction, all the other different logic out there in the 10 hours. And then we'll be solving close to 3 worksheets of 100 questions. And the other major important component is I have solved the whole PYQs from 2025 to 2016 as well. So that's like 10 years of PYQ as well. So what do you need to do? Watch the 4 foundation lectures first, the February batch lectures, and then do the PYQs, and then go for the worksheet. Right. This will significantly help you. Let me tell you, almost all the students who have joined the course have significantly seen their marks improve. Marks है ना ऐसे ही जाएगा. And this is something that I can proudly say about my course, because the course have been meticulously designed. I have talked about the assumptions and how you have to think with respect to each and every question, whether it is a broader spectrum, it is a lower spectrum, how you have to think, how you have to frame your mind and everything. Okay. So this course will be the deciding factor if you clear the prelims or not. Let me tell you. Okay. So close to like 25 lectures are there, 5 lectures of foundation, and then the PYQs, and then solving the worksheets. Close to 100 questions, non-PYQs we have solved as well, which will help you to understand how you have to think with respect to each and every question. Okay. So these are some of the things. I can show you endless screenshots of what my students have shared here, but since we don't have too much time, I have shown here one of my mentee, Bencho, who scored All India rank 59 in 2023. Sreejay Sir's logical session was the single biggest differentiating factor that has helped me clear prelims after my first 2 failed attempts. And this is what most of my mentees have said. Okay. Now, what do you have to do after May 10th? Firstly, watch the 4 foundation lectures on May 9th or May 10th. And from May 11th, what do you have to do? Exactly from 9:30 to 10:30 or probably 9:30 to 11, 1.5 hours. You solve the paper. You solve the 2016 paper and then watch my video on how I solve the same, on how I think with respect to same. You can put it in 2.5 or you can skip all the questions which are based on the content and only mostly focus on the questions which are logical based. And then what you have to do? You have to study the content. So this will be like a 5 to 6 hours exercise. Solve the paper, watch the video on how I do the same, and then learn the content of the same in one day. So 5 to 6 hours on the content, solving and every other part. And then close to the next 5 to 6 hours, what you can do? You can dedicate for each and every subject. Now in the subject, how you have to do? First of all, focus on the current affairs of that particular year, of that subject. Let's say polity ka pura current affairs aapado. Then what do you have to do? Then go for the micro themes from top to bottom. पहले पार्लियामेंट पे फोकस करो, देन फंडामेंटल राइट्स पे फोकस करो, ऐसे 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 आप नीचे आ जाओ. Then the next day 2017 content plus how I solved the 2017 paper, then the content of the 2017 you have to read, and then you can focus most probably on economy, geography, environment or any other paper. So this is what you have to do. Close to 14 days, 10 years of PYQ, and then again you'll have to do the same thing. 2025, 2024 and 2023, you'll have to repeat it once again. So this is what you have to do for the last 14 days. Clear? Now, the third most important thing, not as important, this will help you help to improve your marks, maybe like 10 to 15 marks, but not as much as content or even the elimination. Now, there are several silly mistakes that you might be doing. First of all, you might not be underlining or circling the paper, right? Now, most of you have this habit of reading this very passively. No, aisa nahi karna hai. What do you have to do? Whenever you read everything, you have to underline and circle each and every point, each and every fact. Now, there are 3 things that we circle. The first one is the general words. Can, may, some, none, all, mainly, primarily, significantly, all these general and extreme words. And then we go for the facts. What is a fact here? Is it a particular year? Is it a particular species? Is it a particular international organization or a ministry? That particular fact. And the third thing is whether the question asked about whether it is correct or incorrect. That is the third thing that you have to focus upon. Okay? And the other one is regarding the number of attempts. Now, I have talked about endlessly in my different YouTube videos regarding the same. Always make sure that if you're attempting 70, no. You need to attempt close to 90 plus questions. And what is the one golden rule? If you're able to eliminate an option of a question, then you need to mandatorily attempt that question. Because always believe in the principle of probability, because 4 options are there. If you don't know anything, if you randomly attempt 4 questions, 1 will be correct, 3 will be wrong, 1 into 2 equal to 2, 3 into 3 negative will be -2. So there is no net loss or net gain. But what if we eliminate one option? Let's say A, B, C, B, C, D, A, C, D. Now what will happen? If you attempt 3 such questions, 1 will be correct, right? 2 will be incorrect. If 1 is correct, you will get 2 marks. If 2 is incorrect, you will be losing 1.32. So therefore, there is a net addition of 0.68 or 0.66. So that is the reason why there is no 95, there is no 85. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. If you are able to eliminate one option, mandatory attempt that question. And that is regarding the attempt. So try to increase your attempts. If you are facing issues in time management, watch my video on how I solve the paper. So 2 hours, 2 rounds, split it into 1 hour, half an hour, or different method that you like to follow. But if you're having certain issues regarding the same, watch my video on how I solve. It's available in YouTube. Watch my video on how I solve the question paper. It will give you significant insights on how you have to think in the second round and what are the questions you have to leave or skip in the first round as well. Right? The number of rounds, I don't want to elaborate on the same. Do your paper in like 2 or 3 rounds, but never do it in a first round. Okay, always do in multiple rounds. The first one, the 100% factual questions. The second one, eliminating one option, then you have to attempt that, right? So let me tell you, I'm not trying to create any FOMO here, but these are the hard facts, right? If you're someone who's in the range of 50, 70, you have to master the elimination because it is very hard for you to actually improve your content in these last 14 days. So master the elimination, which can give you or which can significantly improve your hopes on clearing the prelims, clearing the upcoming prelims of 2026. So link in the description below. Also, you can scan the QR code here given in the video as well. So thank you everyone. Thank you all for joining. Close to like 15 to 16 days are there. Make sure you invest close to 12 to 13 hours on a daily basis. And all the best for the upcoming prelims as well. Thank you.